Well, hello. I want to welcome you to my first 2019 episode of Pens in Use. This week, I'm recovering from a break where I did almost no schoolwork and 2 days of school this week, and it's back to full force working next week. So, let's take a look at the pens. So if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I'd invite you to subscribe. And hey, if you'd like to talk about any of these pens that show up here today, especially the Bach nibs toward the end, please feel free to leave a comment down below. So let's dive into the pens. So the pens I'm using this week, you would have seen a restoration video of this one. This is my Parker Fifth Avenue. I'll come back to that. This one is a Hiro 3266, which has an interesting nib that you'll see. A Pilot Custom 92. A.G. Spalding and Brothers. Just A.G. Spalding and Brothers. I was looking for a name there. Platinum Plaisir. An Adlatus 302. Montblanc Monte Rosa. Matador. Wing Sung 698. My beloved Cora, and a Toes Penkala Rex EMI 101. So, it may seem a little vintage heavy this week. That's because I'm going to batch film a bunch of vintage reviews, because I want to. And they're fun. So, let's dive into the pens. As always, I'm using a Bomo art journal from Budapest, Hungary. So, if you like Bomo art journals, go to Budapest, Hungary. So my first pen is one that I did a video on how I repair, for better or for worse. I'm actually recording this on January 2nd, so this video hasn't come out yet, so I don't know how the comments are going to be. But I'm happy with it, and I guess that's what matters. This is a neat little pen that was released during the Great Depression by Parker, mainly as a way to provide employment and circulate a little money. You know, the lever's got a bit of play. It's nothing super special until you look at the history of the pen. The history is what made me say, yes, this deserves to be repaired. I gotta change my angle here on my chair. I think in cleaning out this set, I got some things rearranged. The ink is... oh yeah, that's a lot better. You'll see I'm repositioned when I come back on the screen. Parker Quink, Blue Black. I mean, I had to use a Parker ink in this pen, right? And Parker Quink's not a bad looking ink. Not really. My next pen is a rather slim Hiro 3266. Parker-esque clip. What makes this pen unique is it has a 360-degree nib. No other pen in my collection is like that. So what that means is theoretically you can just rotate it and it'll write at any angle just like a ballpoint. In practice, I find there's a couple spots where it won't. And I'll just be honest, it's not really my favorite pen, which is why you don't see it out very often. I had a viewer comment that I should bring out some of these pens that don't come out very often. So that's why it's out. Whoops, there's one eye in chin. This ink will glow, well, red, underneath a UV light. It's a miserable ink in all but the finest nibs, and it's got to be on good paper, because otherwise it feathers and bleeds, and it's just awful. Next one may be a bit controversial. I have a Pilot Custom 92, which is one of the nicer pistons that I have. I filled it up with what looks like paint. It's not. It's Noodler's Matahari's Cordial. Of course, the nib, very nice steel nib. Pilot makes, I mean, let's just be honest, Pilot makes good pens. I don't know if it's the World War I connection or what, but I just like this ink. As soon as I saw the name, I wanted a bottle, and then I actually like the color a lot. Only thing with Noodlers is they're not always consistent bottle to bottle, so who knows what I'm going to get next bottle I buy. This one is not empty, but headed that direction. Next pen was a surprise to me. I found it on Jet Pens. It's the only place I've ever seen them sold. A.G. Spalding and Brothers pen. I find that interesting that they sell fountain pens, because I really don't think of them as a stationery maker. But here we are. I think this is a medium nib. Is it their own nib too? It's just kind of a bizarre thing that this company makes. I think of them as making more sporting equipment, especially baseball. Whoops. I need to get a clip for that. I just have not. Let's see if I can do an ampersand. Ah, it looks like a G. I'm not good at drawing ampersands. Now I'm looking over at my computer keyboard to see how to draw it, and I totally messed that up. Close enough. The ink in it is Noodler's. Ottoman. Azure. All of a sudden I'm not remembering how to pronounce it. But just kind of a neat looking pen. It writes very well. Nobody talks about them. And like I said, the only place I've ever seen them for sale is on Jet Pens. My next pen is a Platinum Plaisir, which is really a Platinum Preppy in a fancy dress. Now you may be wondering at some of this purple here. The ink in it is Noodler's Rome Burning, and it washes, the brown in it washes off to leave behind a nice lavender. I feel like I should do a video on that one of these days. So if you like the Platinum Preppy, but you want something a little more upscale, Platinum Plaisir is a very nice pen. Has the perks of the Preppy, except for the price is a bit more. But you get a nicer package. Keeps a good seal on the ink, all that. This next pen is an Adlatus 302. Doesn't look like much. You know, it's a dark pen with brown ends. Piston filler. This is a brand that was around in Germany for a while. Disappeared. I haven't done much research on its history, but I need to. And then you'll see an FS there, which stands for Fine Steno. It's a stenographer's pen. I don't know that too many people do stenography anymore. You might hear it's a little scratchy. I've been working on the nib a bit just to make it smoother. The ink in it is, oh yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that, Kuratake. Kyara green. I know some people don't like me putting Japanese inks into my vintage fountain pens, but you know what? It's a piston filler. Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say. This next one, Montblanc, Monte Rosa. Does it have a number on it? Oh, no. I think there were some model numbers, but I don't know the model number for this particular one. Oh, come on. So, gold nib. I think some of them were sold with steel nibs. I need to learn more about it. I'd like to film a review of this one soon. I forgot the Montblanc, but who cares? Monte Rosa. Theoretically, it has an extra fine nib, although I have a hard time believing that. Because even if I press, so I'm barely kissing the paper, it does not look extra fine to me. The ink in it is also a Kuratake Ryuno black. Kuratake, I don't actually know how to pronounce Japanese, so I'm probably butchering it. Very wet pen. And then I have a Matador 992. Whoops, it'd be nice if I held it under the actual camera. Whoops. It has kind of an attractive clip here. Nice finish. Not a whole lot of branding. There's where I know it's a 902. And somebody had a snack, not me. Somebody apparently did. And let's see if I brought this down. I had a neat little artifact. If it's down here, it may still be upstairs, in which case I'll have to show it to you next. Oh, there it is. Found it. Pull this back here so you can see the whole thing. A little piece of vintage advertising. Somehow I wound up with it. Very attractive. Yes, the ink window does look like that. No, the pen did not actually come with this advertising. I'm not sure where I picked it up from. It's from something in German anyway. So, a little piece of history they've forgotten to alter. Also apparently an extra fine. And ink is one of those interesting Callifolio inks. I like this one a lot. And then I get to my Wing Sung 698. It was in one of my top pen videos recently. Until I run it empty, it's going to be my daily writer. Sorry, Lamy 2000. The ink in it is Noodler's Black. I was using it to address envelopes and stuff just most recently. Alright, and two last ones. This first one is actually, well, these last two are going to star in a closer look on IGTV. This is my Cora from the Netherlands. Probably made by Kaweco. The nib, I believe, is a Bach nib. Hopefully you can make that out. I have trouble telling whether this records those well or not till I get upstairs and edit. No size or anything that I know of. And the ink in it is Monteverde. Turquoise. And finally, my Penkala Rex, or sorry, Toast Penkala Rex EMI 101. This is Rex there. EMI 101 there. If you can't tell, the basement's a little chilly and the pens have been down here for a while because they're picking up some humidity from my hands. So this is a TOZ. Oh, I gotta show you the nib, because that's why I'm doing this video on IGTV tonight. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Also looks like a Bach nib. And it was sold to me as an extra fine, although it's close, but I struggle to believe that. The ink in it is Akkerman. Oops. Which has the coolest bottles of any brand of ink. Akkerman number 26. I don't have any clue how to pronounce this. It's not German. It's Dutch. Groenmarkt, Smaragd, whatever. I should probably look that up if it's still inked up next week, so I don't make a fool of myself again. So those are the pens and inks that I'm using this week. This is a little bit shorter edition of Pens in Use. I don't have anything real special to talk about. Other than I hope you enjoyed my top 10 lists, and the channel's going to get back to normal. I am hoping to get that Platinum 3776 video out to you next week, the one I've got to recreate. I'm going to work on it on Saturday, and you can look forward to some reviews of pens that people have been thinking, well, why wasn't that in your top 10? Well, because it was only in Pens in Use, it was never in its own video, so I want to get some of those reviews filmed and, you know, batch film ahead. And yeah, today, my last day off, I'm going to batch film a bunch of first impressions, so you'll probably see this shirt a lot. So thank you for watching. And if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I'd invite you to subscribe. And if you'd like to talk about any of the pens you saw here, or the two Bach nibs, perhaps you can give me some insight into Bach nibs. I had a viewer suggest that Omas nibs were made by Bach, so my extra flexibile nib made by Bach. I haven't verified that yet, but if true, interesting. Yeah, you're seeing more flex nibs in the market now, so for whatever that's worth, I don't know if they're exactly vintage flex, but they're out there. So maybe you have a modern flex nib you can suggest to me. So I thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.